Hi, I'm Heavenly Montgomery, your digital mentor teacher. And in this episode, we'll talk about common formative assessment. We'll talk about how teachers can use it to enhance instruction. We'll also talk about the pros and cons of common formative assessments and the pacing we should use or choose with common formatives. We want to make sure, as with all assessments, that we engage teachers in the process of building these common formatives and making sure that we inspire teacher agency and we do not use assessment to make mandates or micromanage teachers. So let's get into some helpful hints for common formative assessment. Common formative assessments, or CFAs, are collaborative assessments designed and used by teams of teachers to monitor student learning progress and guide instructional adjustments. These assessments are typically administered periodically during a unit of instruction. In a team setting, teachers collaboratively plan CFAs, analyze the results, and develop strategies to address learning gaps. The team discusses what worked well and where improvements can be made to support students collectively. Steps to implementations include collaborative planning, designing assessments, administering the common formative assessments, and analyzing results. In order for teams to create and administer common formative assessments, there must be a shared mission and a shared vision of what student learning in the school looks like. There are ways for teams to get together with their school leaders and develop a mission and vision. We're going to explore that deeply in another episode. We call it one band, one sound.
Section leaders, what is our concept?
One band, one sound.
One band, one sound. When one of us is late, we are all late. When one of us looks or sounds bad, we all look and sound bad. So what's the concept?
One band.
There are several types of teaching teams that work together to create common assessments, and some of them are professional learning communities. That is a group of educators that regularly collaborates to focus on improving student outcomes. Professional learning communities are data driven and often focus on teacher practices and grounded in student learning goals. Typically, PLCs are formal and align with the school or district initiatives. A community of practice is a group of individuals who share a common passion or a specific domain coming together to share knowledge and solve problems. COPs are often self organized, less structured, and can span across schools or even districts. A key difference is PLCs are structured and aligned with formal organizational goals, while COPs can be more organic and self directed. Now, the other kind of team I have here is data teams. Data teams are totally focused on student achievement data, analyzing it, and using it to increase student outcomes. It could be instructional planning, it could be curriculum mapping that data teams use. Now, all of these teams can be a part of a person's toolbox. You can also be a part of teacher networks that are teams that work outside of a school district, and you could bring your expertise to those teams and grow. But for the purpose of common formative assessments, we're going to focus on professional learning communities, communities of practice, and data teams as people that get together for collaborative inquiry. There are four key steps for implementing common formative assessments. First, you have to have collaborative planning. The best type of collaborative planning is job embedded time that's worked into the master schedule by district and school leaders. And during that time, you can go to step two, designing assessments. Teachers need training before they develop assessments so they'll know about distractors and item analysis, and they won't have any bias in their assessment items if they're trained properly. So everybody needs training before they do something. Everybody needs coaching before they do something. There is an art and a science to designing assessments, and we'll explore those in this professional learning series. So don't forget to subscribe. Number three, administering CFAs. You're going to administer the CFAs, and you're going to have an ethical environment where your CFA is not shared with students before testing, and everyone knows the standard that you're assessing on your team. You unpack, deconstructed, or whatever you want to call it, the standard, so you'll know exactly where you're supposed to have that learning target. And you'll know if students have it, you'll know if they don't, and you know if they're in the middle ground. We want to catch kids up, keep kids up, and move kids up. Hi, friends. I just want to remind you before we continue, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. It doesn't bite. Nobody's going to know you liked it. Please don't forget to help us by doing those things. And if you want to join our mailing list and read more helpful hints in our newsletter, just look down on our show notes and you'll see where you can join our mailing list. Thanks for watching. And finally, step four, analyzing results. Teachers meet to review data, identify trends, and adjust instruction accordingly. Hopefully, there's some data system in your school where you can give students assessments and you'll get automatic outputs with graphs and charts. But if you don't have all of that, I'll be giving some tips on how you can use Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel to input data and come up with some great visuals to help you analyze and unpack that data. So subscribe to the channel so you can see all these great things that are coming for you. Should teachers be forced to administer common formative assessments? Well, it is part of your duties and responsibilities. However, one sure way to decrease teacher agency is to force an initiative upon teachers without first telling them the why behind it. Once you tell teachers what the why behind something is, they are more than happy to do it if they think it's going to change the way their students perform because all teachers want their students to do well. So, in order to sustain assessment systems, teachers have to be trained and know why they're doing the work. So please, leaders, you are responsible for making systems so that teachers can get professional development so they can understand the why behind the assessments and why they're doing all this work. And if the outcome is better student achievement, teachers will get into their teacherpreneurship and begin to have teacher agency. And again, the ability for teachers to make informed decisions about their classroom practice, rooted in their expertise in understanding their students' needs, will inspire them and make us do better as an educational system. So please, if you're going to mandate something, tell people why they're doing it. So again, the pros of mandating formative assessments, the common formative type, it helps to ensure consistency in monitoring student progress across classrooms. And in cases of school turnaround, It creates more sustainability for school turnaround. It provides a foundation for collaboration with the teams and supports continuous improvement by identifying learning gaps early. It's a great way to sustain best practice and be intentional about what you expect from your students and what leaders expect from their teachers. Now, a common formative assessment can be a balancing act, a carrot versus a hammer. If teachers feel like everything is coming down on them, you're going to lose teachers and decrease your teacher retention, and we don't want any parts of that. So, when it begins to feel like micromanagement and we lose teacher agency in the process, we're going to fine tune and find ways to involve teachers in the process of developing the assessments. They have to have a say in the work. It also may reduce flexibility in responding to the unique needs if the assessment is rigid. So teachers don't have the flexibility to pull another group or change instruction because they have to follow the rule to the letter. And that can get in the way of some great organic teaching. Again, there's a science and an art to teaching, and it's not always something that you can measure and stronghold. So it's important to build in some ways to give teachers flexibility on how they implement and interpret the assessments so they can have ownership of that process. Can't repeat that enough. There are a lot of different ideas about how frequently common assessments should occur. They really should be in line with the learning process. So, if a unit lasts 4 weeks, the frequency of the assessment should depend on the learning. When you have a balanced assessment system and you let teachers set up the assessment calendar, you can see when you're going to do a 2 week formative check in the middle of the unit and what you're going to do before the unit ends to see where the students are. So there has to be a professional learning community conversation about that. The best practice is to give teachers money, pay to come during the summer to do curriculum mapping so that they can lend their expertise. There are also ways to do this in job embedded professional learning communities, but it's always important to compensate teachers for their expertise. The goal is to monitor the learning progress without overburdening the instructional flow. The team should decide based on their goals and the needs of their students. So, this situation is going to look different from school to school without jarring the pacing from the state and the district. So, another balancing act. There are so many ways that common assessment can be used to increase effectiveness. It informs instruction. It provides real time feedback on student learning, allowing teachers to make immediate instructional adjustments. You can identify learning gaps and help pinpoint specific areas where students struggle, enabling you to target interventions. It enhances collaboration by promoting teacher teamwork and analyzing data and sharing strategies, leading to professional growth and reflection. Student engagement can increase when students receive timely feedback. They are more likely to take ownership of their learning and make improvements. It also allows teachers to differentiate support and tailor instruction to meet the needs of diverse learners based on how they are doing. You can accelerate students, you can remediate students, you can help kids catch up, keep up, and move up. Thank you for stopping by. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And let us know how we can help you by leaving comments below so that we can make more episodes that will meet your needs.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Don't forget to stay inspired.